In this video we're going to look at question 1 in the June 14 Pearson Edexcal Functional Skills Level 1 exam. The first question in these exams is always an internet search question, and the purpose of the question, which I'll pop up on the screen for you just to show you. It's an example of the question. Maximize that up a bit, let's zoom in. So this is the first question. The purpose of this question is for you to demonstrate to the examiners that you can use a search engine appropriately, you can use the appropriate sites for searching, that you can use sensible keywords, and that you can evidence that and return the information they've asked you to find. This question may ask you to look for just information. For instance, this one's asking us to look for the adult admission price to Ingleton Waterfalls, but they may ask you to look for an image, for instance, and I'll talk about that at the end of this video. So when we open this question, the first thing we need to do is take notice of this at the top here. It says you may use the internet for this section only. You're only allowed during the exam internet access for the first 15 minutes. After that, the internet's disconnected. So it's really important that you check your work on question 1 immediately. You don't want to be checking that until the end, because you won't have internet access. So if you do find a problem or you've missed something, you won't be able to go back and do that. So always check question 1 immediately after you've finished it. So task 1, Ingleton Waterfalls. Pat is organising a walk to Ingleton Waterfalls. She needs information about admission charges. Open responses June 14 L1. Every one of these exam papers comes with a file called responses, and in the month, year, and so on. And this is where you need to provide evidence for the questions I'm asking. So I've opened that file here. You see at the top, responses June 14 L1, and it's I'll just move this over to the side here so we can see. Okay. So she needs information about admission charges. Open responses June 14 L1. And what I would do with this is just go to, as soon as I open it, just file and save it, save a copy into your working folder. Enter your name, candidate number and centre number. I've just put my name in there. In the exam, you'll need to put your candidate number and your centre number. You're normally given those when you go into your exam. So I'm going to leave those blank for now, just because this is training. Use an internet search engine to find the adult admission price to Ingleton Waterfalls. That's exactly what it says there. So let's go to a browser, and I'm going to look for the adult admission price for, now I could type the whole sentence in, but I don't really need to. I could just look for adult admission or entry price, and then the name of the place I'm looking for is Ingleton Waterfalls. At level 1 it's not critical, but it's actually a good practice to get into if you're using names of places, people or events, organisations, things like that, is to use the capitals that are in the paper. So this paper, for instance, you can see that Ingleton Waterfalls is capitalised, has a capital I and a capital W. So I'm going to reproduce that. At level 2 they will mark you down, but level 1 they don't. But it's just good practice to get into. And you notice it also picks up any spelling errors. So I've put adult instead of adult. So I can just right click on that. Sorry, I can just left click on that and correct that error. Adult admission price Ingleton Waterfalls. Okay. And you notice I haven't put to, the, and things like that, because there's no point. When you're doing this, setting up your search criteria, you want to try and drop the words that are really, really common, because to and the probably appear on 95% of. I'm going to click on Google search, and you can see that's actually come back with an answer straight away for me. It tells me the admission price is £7 and the child price is £3, adults £7, and it gives me a list of the other sites it's found with that information. Now in order to show the examiners that I've done a search and I didn't just happen to know because I'd been to Ingleton Waterfalls last week and I knew the price off the top of my head, I have to take a screenshot of this search. So I'm going to take a screenshot and I need to put that into the document they've given us here. So in the responses file, it always tells you, it's usually in italic, paste the screenshot of the search engine. I'm just going to put my cursor at the bottom of there, paste that in, and once I've pasted it in, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to do anything with it because this is adequate for the exam. We don't need to be able to crop it or anything like that, and by doing that we're ensuring that all the information we actually want is there. So if I zoom in a bit, for instance, I can see it's still perfectly clear. Adult admission price, I've shown the keywords or the criteria that I've used. I can see that it's at google.com, so it's Google search engine, and I can see that I've got some search results from that. So that hits all the things we need to be doing. By the way, a little tip there, I can zoom in and out without using the slide bar. I can use this slide bar if I want to. I find it really fiddly. But if you hold down the control key and then use your mouse wheel, you can zoom in and out just by turning your mouse wheel. I find that quite easy, and that works across the whole of Office and in File Explorer as well. So, going back to my question. So, enter your name, use an internet search engine. Right, we found that. And I'm showing how we did this by taking a screenshot and the keywords and the adult admission price. It wants the adult admission price. Now, it wants the price here, adult admission price, which we know was £7, I think it said on the website. And it also wants the website address URL used. This is really important. The only time we have any mention of the search engine is in the screenshot. After that, we don't need to talk about the search engine at all. I'm going to go back to my search now to get that information. Now, I know the answer's here, but we must click onto the site that actually has the information, because I'm not allowed to put Google, this address up here, as my answer for where I got the information. I have to click on a normal website. So I've moved to ingletonwaterfallstrail.co.uk, and I'm going to scroll down until I find, oh well, there you go. Adult 16 years and over is £7. So I can remember £7. I'm going to copy the address here. So that's the address that I found the information from, and it's not a search engine. I'm going to put that in there. That's the website address or URL. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator, by the way. And it was £7. Now, once again, good practice just to write it properly with a pound sign. Okay, and then I'm going to go scroll down. Now, on some papers, the next bit down will be section B. When you hit section B, you've done the first question. Okay, so there is no section B on this one, which means we finish this question. I'm just going to double check. Can I see all the things that I need to see? If I zoom in, I can see that it's a search engine. I can see my search criteria. I've got results, and I'm demonstrating those. I've got the price, and I've got the website address that I used, and it's not a search engine. You notice over here, this has gone a bit screwy. Don't worry about that. You don't get any marks for formatting. As long as they can see your answers, they're perfectly happy. Incidentally, if you get a URL here that's really long and goes out of the box, just find a different page with the answer on it. It's probably the easiest way to make sure that you get it. Because what happens if you paste text into here and it doesn't have a dash in it, it won't wrap round properly. So always look for a short URL for this question. We're going to just save our work. So File, Save As, and then we're going to save it. We always save it with the same name, by the way. It's always Responses June 1401. We just save it into a different location. So we would open it from our data files, and then we would save it back to our work folder, which, if you've been following the startup guide, will be a folder you create in the first stage with your name, date of birth on it.